I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Like today.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and shall lead them to buy our merch, you bums.
Yep.
This is the band Deftones. As you can see here, the little trademark right here is DJ Mark. DJ Mark, trademark for DJ Mark. There he is. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a DJ stream. A DJ stream, for the uninitiated, is when a villager gets to determine all the songs for the night in the fire stream. A fire stream is when we just do live recordings of stuff, that type of thing. So this is DJ Mark. If you would like to be a DJ yourselves, it's a 4-song minimum. And there's no maximum, I don't think. If you try to do 28 songs or something like that, then we'll have to give you an entire week. So far, there are no limits. Okay, guys, this is Around the Fur, and you're not even going to have to look for the lyrics, and neither shall we, because
It's going to be ridiculous. DJ Mark made his own lyric video.
Has made his own lyric video. Look at the camera. He's made his own lyric video.
What kind of picture?
Like a cool. There you go. Look
Email
at that.
it to me.
I'm gonna mail it to you. All right, guys, let's go. Deftones Around the Fur lyric video brought to you by DJ Mark. Let's go. I was not expecting this at all.
Me neither. I like it.
I'm intrigued.
Hey, vanity, this bottle's empty. So are you. Hey, glamorous, this vial's not God anymore. I just
Damn! Yikes, big bro. Alrighty then, that was Deftones. That fella sounded like he was not pleased with that young lady by the end of the song.
No.
What did you somebody goes, this is not Be Quiet and Drive. Deftones make the best girlfriend music. But this is not good girlfriend music right now. No. I don't think.
No.
I think he's mad. He sounds like he's mad.
Yeah. So, hey, vanity, this vial's empty and so are you. Hey, glamorous, this vial's not God anymore. Yeah. So what is he saying? Like, would she have all the outward signs, but she was not a good person?
Yeah, then, she was glamorous and I'm assuming beautiful on the outside because he starts off the song saying, hey, vanity.
Yeah.
And then it says, this vial is empty and so are you. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that's a drug reference. You know, the vial is empty and so are you. So it's just external beauty. It's not really. She's not a very substantive person, it appears. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, then why is he so angry at her? You know what I'm saying? It looks like he was trying to have some sort of relationship with her or whatever. I'm not sure. He says, hey, vanity, this vial's empty and so are you. Hey, glamorous, this vial's not God anymore. Yeah. So maybe he's trying to make a correlation between how a person was addicted to drugs and how they are basically stuck on the drug. Mm-hmm. And how he was with her. Maybe she was a drug to him.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that.
So he's saying the vial's not God anymore. And that would mean that she's not God. She was...
Yeah.
I think it was Romeo and Juliet. There was one line, I think Romeo said it to Juliet or vice versa, where he said that she was the god of his idolatry. And I remember thinking, that is a very slick line, man. The god of my idolatry.
Yeah.
Which, of course, they proved it because they ended up killing themselves at the end of the thing. But I do think, like, people can idolize, you know, relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that... Shout out to Zombie Holic.
Wow, that's such a crazy thought.
What?
The god of my idolatry, and in relation to their suicide.
Yeah, because he says here, the vial's empty and so are you. This vial's not God anymore. Yeah, but he's already made a correlation in line 1 between her and the vial. Mm-hmm. So when he says the vial's not God anymore, he doesn't have to say, and neither are you, because it follows. Mm-hmm. So that is really good writing.
I agree.
It's one of the things that really annoys me about movies and TV shows is like the author will go out of their way and explain everything. I'm like, you don't need to explain everything. Like, he doesn't have to say, and so are you here. All he has to do is leave it because we can make the connection. He's already said there's a correlation between her and the vial. So he doesn't need to say the vial's not God anymore and neither are you. He doesn't need to do that because he's already done it in line 1. See what I'm saying? Anyway, that's just a pet peeve of mine, but you know, that's because
But he didn't repeat it. He said, hey, vanity, this vial's empty and so are you. Hey, glamorous, this vial's not God anymore. Yeah. He didn't repeat it twice.
That's my point. My point is
you like
he
that.
doesn't need to say, and
I agree.
so are you.
I agree.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he already did it in line 1.
Yes.
Speak. I don't get it. Should I ignore the fashion or go by the book? I don't want it. I just want your eyes fixated on me. Come back around the fur. That is really interesting. So then you have to say, well, what does around the fur mean then? Because that seems to be the crux of the entire song. Guys, this is a public service announcement. If number 1, YouTube is only going to send you 3 notifications a day. And we're releasing, I don't know, 3 or 4. We're going to be releasing about 5 or 6 videos a day. Because all these DJ streams, once we cut them up, they end up in standalone songs, right? So if you do that, then you're probably going to miss out on a notification today. But yeah, did William Shakespeare exist? of course, William Shakespeare didn't exist. I can't see him. Just because you don't know how Romeo and Juliet was written doesn't mean you have to do the Shakespeare of the Gap stuff there,
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Roy. All right, we continue. Also, if you sub to Twitch, you will not miss us. That's a good point. All right, so he says, speak. I don't get it.
Is he saying speak or is she saying?
I think he's saying it. Should I ignore their fashion or go by the book? So I think what he's saying there is...
What book? The Bible?
Well, I don't know if it's the Bible, but you know the rule book. You know how there are all these unwritten rules? Mm-hmm. So I think one of the unwritten rules is you should go after somebody for their substance and not what they look like.
Yeah.
But he's saying, how can I do that when she's putting out all this fashion?
Oh, it's don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
So he's saying, should I go by what's inside or should I go by the
one of those
fashions?
unwritten rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I ignore the fashion?
Yeah.
Or go by the book?
Right.
So
right.
Should I
go
say,
by what's in her or what I see outwardly?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I think yours actually kind of makes a little bit more sense because he's saying, should I ignore the fashion? Because the fashion would say this is a thin person mentally. Like this person doesn't have much substance because that is one of the stereotypes of beautiful women, mm-hmm. which I believe was constructed by not beautiful women. That all beautiful women are is pretty, and that's all they have. That's all they have to offer. Like that's the stereotype of very beautiful women, particularly with very beautiful blonde women. Mm-hmm. Which is obviously that's not the case with you, but I think what he's saying is this girl is really, really attractive, and it goes against his own principles to engage with her. But maybe she does have some substance, and you got to give it a shot. I don't want it. I just want your eyes fixated on me.
See, he's saying that or she is?
That's a good point. I think he's saying the first two lines, and she's saying the last lines, I think. And remember, this is Chino, so his the way that his writing style is very, very mm-hmm. hard to figure out. But you're right. I think maybe it's the girl speaking here when he says, I don't want it. I just want your eyes fixated on me. Mm-hmm. I think what she's saying is, I don't care if you think that I'm a woman of substance or not. I just want attention.
Yep.
I don't really care what you think. Which, of course, I don't know.
You don't know what?
Is that how a lot of women think? Is that how females think? Like they don't care about being judged as substantive people? They just want to be looked at as attractive?
Well, I know for the longest time, the people that I was around, everybody always picked they'd rather be beautiful than smart. Like when that question was asked in the circles that I would, that question would would you rather? And so that was one of the questions in the circles of people that I was in. So yeah, my circles have been small. They've been here in Maine and they were in college in Pennsylvania. But Pennsylvania came with girls all over the place, but they were all evangelical girls. So it would have been the same idea. Anyway, most of them picked beauty over intellect.
Over being being perceived as a substantive woman.
Well, no, we said, would you rather be smart or beautiful? And most people picked beautiful. Well, I picked beautiful for the longest time too. Now I only think the reason that I would switch on that and say I would rather have intellect over beauty is because I'm with you. And I know that you love my beauty and you celebrate my beauty, but I feel like if I lost all of my ability to be able to have intelligent conversation, or I lost all of my beauty, I would rather lose all my beauty than be able to, like, I would rather, if I was just very beautiful, but we could never have conversations about stuff, or the vice versa, I would rather be able to have the conversations and just not be beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
But that's only changed now. I'm saying that because I'm with a different sort of person.
But see, I don't know,
I haven't met a lot of men that are as deep as you, so.
Well, here's my thing. A person's intellect is not something that you can work on or earn. That's just you're born with a certain intelligence quota, and there really isn't much you can do to augment that. Beauty is kind of similar. It is similar unless you have, enough disposable income to get plastic done. Mm-hmm. But here's my question. Why is beauty... So, for example, you put that together. What would you rather be, smart or wise? Why is it more virtuous for the girl to say smart? What would you rather be, smart or beautiful? Why is it more virtuous for the girl to say that she'd rather be smart than beautiful? They're both, in my opinion, they're both attributes of a person that is just given to them at birth that they did not earn. So I certainly didn't earn my mind. So why is it that this is all over the place? Like, I'm sure if you were to say, what would you rather be, smart or beautiful? And you did a private poll versus a public poll where people knew what you were going to say, I think the vast majority of women would say beautiful in the private poll, but in the public poll they would go with smart because of it's very ironic, but this sort of like, if you wanted to choose beauty, then that means you're a shallow person. But intelligence, that means that you're a deep person. It's like, well, Adolf Hitler was intelligent. So is Barack Obama. Like, why is the girl's intelligence like the ultimate virtue, but her beauty isn't? You see what I'm saying? And to me, my conspiracy theory is that it's women who create these issues. It's like Kevin Samuels says about black girls, like, we don't like the weave and the crazy nails. We never did. That's y'all. So I feel like that whole dichotomy is something that y'all created. We didn't come up with that. You see what I'm saying? What are you thinking? You look like you're thinking about stuff.
Well, I am. Yeah. I mean, you could be right. I do think, I was talking to somebody about their understandings of, male and female relationships and how my influence on them has been for good or for negative or whatever. We're just having a conversation about it. And the person said what has formulated the most of their thoughts has been their shows that they watch. And our shows created because I do like, kind of like the shows have they always make the pretty girl kind of dumb and they make the smart girl not pretty and kind of nerdy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that in every single one of those shows that I've been watching. They're all the same with that. Like, although there is one show that I'm watching where the woman that's not as beautiful is also not as smart. But that's like old ladies, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only show I've ever seen like that.
Well, yeah. Sadie said something really interesting. She said, if I had to choose between beauty and brains, I would rather be funny. That's another one of those things where you cannot earn being a funny person. Mm-hmm. You're just that. So it's like, it's interesting. People are saying, well, beauty fades, brains doesn't. Well, tell that to Joe Biden. Like, no disrespect. No disrespect. Because you guys know how I feel about that whole making fun of people with disabilities things. But obviously, at some point, even your intellect is going to go. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why I'd rather just die before that happens. But, like, all of these issues are all issues that are just really, really interesting when it comes to male and female relationships and how we work with each other. I don't think any of us have solved the mystery of each other yet. You know what I'm saying? Women still don't understand men, and men don't understand women very well, I still think. And the concept of beauty it's a very touchy subject for me. Just because it's one of those subjects where we're in a culture that has so many assumptions about beauty and what it is that it's almost impossible to really have a discussion.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, for example, if you go with Thomas Aquinas, obviously, and I do, beauty is an objective standard. Mm-hmm. It's increasing complexity, harmonization, and symmetry. Mm-hmm. That's Aquinas' understanding of beauty. So from that vantage point, I could say, objectively speaking, you are a beautiful woman, objectively speaking, if we go by those terms. But then what does that beauty mean, and what is it for? And why is beauty so important to us? like, we haven't had any of those discussions. People go, what's nice to look at? Well, okay. So why is it that I'm more likely to marry somebody who's nice to look at? Why is the nicer to look at person able to score a mate while the person who doesn't look as nice? Because it's like, it's not like you stare at the person all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is beauty such a thing? And like I said, like, it's still mysterious to me. And because people think about it, people make lifelong decisions many times based on a single trait.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that, not to, to go too religious on everybody, but I do think that there are characteristics and traits that people have that they're attracted to because of, for instance, obviously, if you're talking about God has complexity, he has beauty, he has symmetry.
Right.
There's not chaos. It's orderly, but it's complex. And it's like, more like a kaleidoscope rather than just a simple stick figure. And so I think that when someone is drawn to a physically attractive person, that they're drawn to some level of complex beauty that they may not realize, but it reminds them of God. I also think that that's
a good point.
So there's that element of it, but I also think that there's well, sometimes, like for me, I used to always feel like my beauty was a way for me to access people and places that I wouldn't be able to access otherwise. And for me, the reason I wanted to access those places was always because I was trying to tell people about God. So
right.
I knew that it gave me a leg up when I went to knock on doors and talk to people about the Bible or just talking to somebody in the park. I knew that I had an advantage over everybody else. And that advantage gave me confidence because I was like,
yeah,
it's unfortunate because I was listening to something about Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about that men have a natural fear of women because of rejection. They don't want to be rejected by women because he was saying that women, that there's this sort of ideal picture, like this goddess, this woman that is all these things, but that's not like an actual woman. It's an idea of what a woman could be. And to get into a relationship with an actual woman, you have to let go of ideals because she is not a perfect person. She is not ideal. And so he has to kind of like let go of some of these things that he like envisioned and wanted and stuff and accept her and separate the ideal from who she is and find out who she is and love who she is. Simultaneously, there's a fear that they're going to be rejected by the ideal woman because before you get the chance to dive into that relationship and recognize that she's not a perfect goddess that just floats in, she actually has flaws. Before you get to that point, she's just this ideal woman. And if she rejects you from that ideal position, it's a lot. It's hard for men to bear. So it's easier once you get to know them, be like, well, you're fucked up, so you're fucked up. You know what I mean? But before that happens, it's very, very difficult. And so from that standpoint, a lot of times people just don't understand each other. And so you were talking about not understanding people. Shoot, and I can't remember where I was going to go with that, but.
Well, somebody said, like, I think porn is the problem. You're right, Podge.
I think that's it
is a major
He
problem.
actually brought that up into it.
Oh, I mean, because now you have the idealized woman and she cannot reject you.
She can't reject. Oh, right. It was about rejection. Yeah. Also, what he was saying about that is that there is a certain, even if you're not like consciously, your subconscious is picking up on the fact that that girl got scored by that guy, not by you, and you're just peering in on something that you are really not a part of. So even though you're not like maybe not thinking it through, there is a part of you that's like a little bit ashamed of it, and it gives you less confidence for when you're actually trying to go to be with a girl because all you have is somebody else's stories, somebody else's dick.
And you know, so getting into relationships, getting a girl, bagging a girl, whatever you want to say, it's a skill.
Yeah.
And especially if you want to go after the really attractive girl, you got to have certain types of skills. Somebody said though, like, you know, I'm gonna be shallow and admit that I can't be with someone I'm not physically attracted to. I don't think that that's shallow. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said, like, I'm not sure why we're demonizing beauty and canonizing intellect. You know what I'm saying? Like, because both of those have nothing to do with a person's moral framework. SubhanAllah. If a person is evil, their intelligence then becomes their worst attribute. Because that's the attribute that can do the most damage in the hands of an evil person.
You can say that about anything, because if you look at Elizabeth Bathory, her beauty was her thing, and look at all the evil she did because of her beauty. She was murdering virgins all over the place and bathing in their blood.
Well, as one of my best friends in the channel just texted me, he said, you're forgetting the correlation between beauty and crazy. Because there's that stereotype as well. And
beautiful women are crazy?
Well, yeah.
I didn't hear about that stereotype.
Well, the beautiful to crazy scale, me and Dan talk about, because it's like, how much crazy are you willing to accept? Or the other way of saying it is, based on this girl's physical appearance, how crazy can she be?
Right. Stop it! That's such a funny thing to say.
There's a scale.
Yeah.
There's a scale. So it's like, you can get away with anything, but the other one, you can't get away with shit. You don't have the capital.
No. I know that.
You don't have the capital to be that kind of person.
They didn't, but they did. They did. You know.
But you know what I'm talking.
I do. I totally do.
Being equal.
Yes, I totally do. And honestly, that person is probably going to realize, like, that's the only time in their life that was going to be like that.
Try to tell her. She wouldn't listen.
The only time. I mean.
Yeah, so, like, did Sori just do Bathory research? No, it's
from doing the channel, the song, you know?
It's Cradle of Filth is our Bathory research. Yeah, he says ugly ones have to be nice, stuck for a while.
Well, we talked about this before, because I said, subhanAllah, every time this person loses weight, they turn into a bitch, and I don't know what's happening. And I was like, why is their personality so drastically different when they get thin? And then Vin was saying, well, it's because that's the type of person that they are. But when they feel that they're overweight and unattractive, then they don't feel like they have the capital to be a bitch. But once they lose weight, then they're like, okay, and they feel pretty confident about themselves, and then they feel comfortable to be who they are. And I was like,
I mean, yeah. That's what it looks like to me. What do you get to Crouching Tiger? Lack of nourishment.
Wait, what?
These guys are funny tonight, bro. I like the lyrics of the song. I feel like I would like the song a lot more on the 5th and 6th lesson. So this is going to get an 8.9 for me.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to match you on that, actually. Oh, that's like 2 songs with an 8.9 for me.
Yeah.
But this was an interesting song. One more thing to say about it is there's a verse that I used to think about all the time. It's basically says, of course, I haven't quoted it to myself in quite some time, but it's something like, beauty is deceitful and
charm is fleeting and beauty is deceitful, but a woman who fears the Lord is
to be praised or something
praised.
Like that. Yeah. So, like,
that's the end of Proverbs 31.
Because that's the more conversations that I have with people, the more I realize how that is the beginning of wisdom. Because there's literally not been any time that I've followed what the Bible said and I've been like, wow, I really did the worst thing possible.
Yeah.
Every single time I followed the principles of the Bible, it's always been better. It doesn't mean that the situation got perfect and everything was happy and we were bouncing on clouds. It doesn't mean that. It just means that, sometimes you make decisions and you're like, this is going to make it better. And then the whole thing friggin' blows up and you're like, I literally thought that was what I should have done in that situation. So I have a tendency to just keep doing that and stuff keeps blowing up and blowing up and blowing up on me. But every time I just follow the principles of the Bible, it's always better. So, I mean, for that one, there you have it. Anyway, 8.9. Still don't... Wait. Why did he say prostitute climb back down from the floor? What's he talking about there?
Well, he's saying that she's really low. Climb back down from the floor.
He called her a prostitute?
Yeah. Please don't fuck around and die like this. Because I love her. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me what he's saying there. But...
Babe, when you read it... All right. Anyway.
Can we piece the people out now?
Peace it out.
Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.